Okay, so I wanted to just do a quick little video to show people how to use the graphing and data logging feature of the microbit, which is a cool feature that's built into MakeCode. Not everybody knows that you can do this. It's a little bit magic, and there's a couple of steps you might have to go through to make it work properly with your microbit. So here's my microbit, and I've got a USB lead and I've got MakeCode, and that's all I need to do this. And the key to getting data logging working is to realise that this USB lead on the microbit is just a serial port. So if you go into the advanced settings and MakeCode and under serial, you'll find a whole load of things here, and any value that you write to the serial port will come out via the data logger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use let's find something we haven't used for a while. Let's have the rotation. So I want to really understand how this rotation thing works. It's quite a new feature. So let's say the rotation, or let's say the P is the pitch, and let's say that the R is the roll, because I want to understand pitch and roll. I'm not quite sure what they mean. And I'm also going to add a little icon onto my display so I know that the microbit has powered up properly. Now what you find, I'm going to have to move the screen around so you can see what happens here. Excuse me while I disappear. Is you get this thing called show console, and this is for the simulator at the moment. So if I press on that, you get a graph, and then as I tilt the microbit around, you'll see that various things change. But it'd be really nice to be able to do that on a real microbit, wouldn't it? So there's a couple of steps you have to go through. First thing you have to do is to plug your microbit in. So I'm going to plug that in the side of my computer. That should appear on my desktop in a few seconds. I've used this one before, so it's going to be a little bit... let's just clear that off for the moment. Okay, so let's say it hasn't seen this microbit before. Now, instead of downloading a hex file to the computer, what you do is you click on these little dots and you say pair device. And you should get this box pop up. And you click on here, click on the microbit and press connect. And now you're physically connected to the microbit. Let's just get my screen back so you can see me a bit. And now you're connected to the microbit, you can flash directly to the microbit. So you can say download to microbit, and then you see, hopefully, something should happen. I've just confused it. Pair device. Pair device is paired. Download to microbit. Okay. If that doesn't work, what you need to do to make sure that the firmware on your microbit is up to date. So you go to support, search for firmware. Now the firmware is actually on another chip. It's on the interface chip, which is this little chip here. This is the USB interface chip. And there's a page that explains all about it, but you can get the latest firmware. From here, this is a version 1 microbit, so I download that file. And let's go into downloads. There's a 249 hex. Now you have to unplug your microbit. Which side am I on? This side. Press the reset button and put the USB cable in. And then you get, hopefully, a maintenance. Now in the early days we were thinking of calling this scary mode, but we thought maintenance mode would be better. And you drag and drop that onto the maintenance mode drive, and it flashes the LED on the back for a little bit. And then it should reset and reappear as a microbit. So you've now got the latest firmware on that interface chip. Let's try again. Let's remove that Gone. Okay, right, so let's try again. Let's go download to microbit. I've got my I have to reload the editor. Got to do everything in the right order. It doesn't work. Right, pair device. So this is probably what you'll see the first time you do this. So you've got the firmware updated of the microbit. That's a one-time thing. Once you've done that, it should always work. Pair device. Pair device. BBC microbit. Good. Download to microbit. So now download this code to the microbit. And it now flashes that directly onto the microbit. So rather than downloading the file and then dragging the file on, it's now downloaded. We're connected, and we now click on the device console, not the simulator console, but the device console. And you now get this nice little graph. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make my window a bit bigger. Okay, so if I tilt the microbit, let me just try and get this screen so that you can see what's going on. There you go. So if I tilt the microbit, where's my microbit? It's here. If I tilt it forwards and backwards, you see the top trace changes. If I tilt it left and right, you see the bottom trace changes. Obviously, if I move both at the same time, you're going to get some effect on both traces. So the top trace is that one there. So let's go back. So the top trace is the pitch. So that's the pitch, which is actually in the Y direction, and that's the roll, which is actually in the X direction. So really, all those pitch and roll are doing is they are taking the X acceleration and the Y acceleration, which would normally be in a range of, say, 0 to 1,000 to minus 1,000, and they're scaling it down into a degree. So if you imagine in the X, so really that would be minus 1,000, that would be plus 1,000 if it's an acceleration, because it's 1g down or 1g up. But as a pitch, I've got that right, P pitch, yeah. It's as a rotation, it's in degrees of plus or minus 180, which makes more sense to children when you're talking about degrees and you're doing science experiments. So it's not rotation like this. If you want rotation like that, you have to use the compass. And the compass, of course, has to be calibrated. Hope this helps. Let's see if we can work out to turn this off.